Welcome to a brand new episode of Johnson's Court. Hello and welcome everybody. I'm super excited you guys can all join me for an AFC/NFC championship Sunday showdown, as you may call it. You know, we have the four best teams left in the NFL. In the NFC, you've got the Commanders and the Eagles, and in the AFC, you've got the Bills and the Chiefs. Now, super excited to get into these games, talk about them a little bit. They do both play today. The Commanders and Eagles play at 3. They're the early bird game, and then at 6:30 is the Bills and the Chiefs. But before I get into that, I do want to let you guys all know, if you follow me on social media, you have seen that I completed my basketball stats. My journey from doing all of them however long ago I started. I know it's been at least 2 or 3 years since I've started it. But it goes, the channel we started in 2018 and is now 2025. So let's think about 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 7 years. 7 years we've been doing this, and I decided to do all just my personal stats, my points, my rebounds, my steals, how many 2-pointers I shot, how many 3-pointers I shot. And then I did that for each playlist, and then I did that for overall adding them all together. So if you guys haven't, go look on my socials. That is where they are. But it's just cool to see, you know, the journey, you know, from where I started to, you know, the predictions of, you know, was I going to get over, you know, 1,000 rebounds? Was I going to get over 500 assists, you know, total wise? So it was just like really, really cool just to see all that. And it was just something really fun. It meant a lot to me. And for it to be done for now, to be finished now, because I will always be playing basketball as long as my arms, my feet, my legs, my whole body works. I will still be playing basketball. And it is the winter time right now, so, you know, there is no kind of basketball being played unless you guys have been also following on my social media and seeing that I am a part of this men's league basketball league on Wednesday nights. As of right now, I'm not filming that just for this fall or winter season, I guess. They do have one in the spring that I might do. I might film for that. But right now, I just want to be indulged. I just want to focus on my teammates, my team, and winning the championship. So super excited to finally be a part of that. Something that I've been looking for since I, graduated college. And now that I finally have it, it's so much fun. Not all games go our way. We've only played 2 so far, but, you know, it's still a long road to the championship. If you guys want to know, the only thing I'll tell you is I'm having lots of fun, and I am averaging 20 points per game. So that is... You know, when I go back and watch this and my kids see this, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, Dad, you were a baller. Yes, I was, kids, and I always will be. So, but that is enough about basketball, as basketball is in full swing, the NBA and college hoops. But we're here to talk about the NFL. We're here to talk about who's going to make it to this. Oh, so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. So sorry. I will definitely... All right, let's try this again, because I will cut that out. We are here to talk about who is going to make it to the Super Bowl, who's going to represent the NFC, and who's going to represent the AFC. So let's get straight into it. Now, last week, as you know, me, Beagle, and Nick have, all still been given our picks and whatnot. Last week, we only had one person do the best. We had Nick Solomon. He went 3-1, where Beagle and I went 2-2. Now, as funny as this is going to be, I've already got Nick's picks. I've got Beagle's picks. Obviously, I'm going to give mine. Can Nick go 2-0? Does he go 1-1? Do I go 2-0? Do I go 0-2? I think we're going to find out, because I know who I'm going to pick, and it's going to be like really, really fun to see. So if I had to guess, I think Nick Solomon is leading the playoffs with the amount of wins that he has. So he could potentially win the regular season and the playoff, and he could win the overall. That'd be kind of crazy. He's going to take home a triple crown. Let's see if he can do it. But this week, like I said, the Commanders and Eagles, they play at 3 o'clock. A little backstory about the Commanders. they fought their way here. They've been playing, since the wild card round. They also, let's see, who did they play? Let's find out. So they played the Buccaneers first round. Excuse me. I figured that the Commanders were going to win that game, and they did off of game-winning field goal, 23-20. And then they played the Lions, who they beat 45-31. They've just been playing really, really good right now. And then their next game, and if they win, they'll make a Super Bowl, are playing probably their toughest opponent yet, is the Philadelphia Eagles. It is an NFC East showdown. The Eagles did beat the Commanders in the regular season, so they had a better record, divisional record than them. But I think it's like Clash of the Titans right here. I really do think that the Commanders have a fair shot. I think the Eagles have a fair shot. Because the Eagles, who do they play? They played the Packers first round, which was a week 1 win for them in Brazil. So they beat them 22-10. And then they beat the Rams, who arguably the Rams could have won that game. A lot of people will say the weather is why the Rams lost. But, I'm tired of hearing excuses. It doesn't matter. You play football. You know what you signed up for. Whether you get to train in the heat, wind, rain, snow, whatever, you're there to put your best foot forward, and hopefully your team comes out on top. And the Eagles did come out on top 28-22, so now they are playing the Eagles. So I think the Eagles are one of the, if I had to say, I would say the Commanders are the hottest team left, with just, how they're playing, the streak that they're playing on, haven't been to the playoffs in a long time, where the Eagles, it's their, how do I want to say it? It was their expectation to obviously make the playoffs. There's expectation to make the NFC Championship. Their expectation to make the Super Bowl. Where the Eagles, they just, yes, in everyone's mind, they all want to win Super Bowl, but only one person can win Super Bowl. Obviously, only one team. So the Commanders to even make the playoffs and to make the NFC Championship game is huge for them, and that's why I think they have nothing to lose, and that's why I think ultimately they will end up winning this game. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. Could come down to a last-second field goal or a fourth quarter drive by Jaden Daniels, who is playing out of his mind lately. So give me the Commanders over the Eagles. Now, I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to lose this game. I'm not saying the Commanders are going to lose this game. It is going to be a really, really good game, and it can come down to anybody. So, me picking Commanders isn't a bad pick. If I pick the Eagles, that's not a bad pick either, because you have the 4 best teams left in the playoffs. So either pick that you're going to is going to be a good pick. It's just who is going to be able to play, all 4 quarters and keep that other offense off the field. So give me the Commanders to start the day, to make it to the Super Bowl, and Jaden Daniels to be the first ever rookie QB to be in the NFL, or to make it to the Super Bowl. To make it to the Super Bowl. I think he can do it, and I think that he will, guys. But then at 6:30, this game is going to be phenomenal as well. They could have switched them. They could have put the Commanders-Eagles at 6:30. They could have put this game at 6:30. It didn't matter. Because, like I said, it's the 4 best teams left. You've got the Buffalo Bills playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Bills, I'll tell you what they had to go through to get here. They had to beat the Broncos round 1. Beat them 31-7. Pretty easy win for them. Kind of figured that was coming anyways. Then they played the Ravens, who were arguably the second, maybe third best team in the AFC, as they beat them 27-25. So, the Bills, do deserve to be here. But then the Chiefs, they were first round bye, so they didn't play anybody round 1. Round 2, they beat the Texans 23-14. Texans, you say they have a shot, but they never really had a shot. The Chiefs were winning that game all the way anyway, so it didn't matter. But, I think it's the Bills' time, guys. I think that he does. Josh Allen does dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the Chiefs, I know people say don't bet against them, and, they're not going to until they lose, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's not to say that the Chiefs are a bad team. I mean, they were arguably one of the best teams all year long. I don't necessarily think they were the best team this year. I do think the Bills were the best team this year. On paper, and you could argue and say the Lions, but then they got hurt. But then you can say the Vikings. But truly, honestly, in my opinion, I think that the Bills were the best team in the NFL this year, and I think that that's the reason why I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, and so they're going to beat the Chiefs. But that's also why they are my Super Bowl pick. They've been my Super Bowl pick since week 1. I think maybe I have to go back and check the videos when we made them our preseason predictions. But I would love to see the Bills win it this year. I would love to see Josh Allen get a ring. I think it'd be a great game, whether the Bills play the Commanders, whether the Chiefs play the Commanders, whether the Eagles play the Bills, the Eagles play the Chiefs. Like, it doesn't matter. Once again, the top 4 teams are in the AFC North, or the AFC Championship, and the NFC Championship. So for me personally, I've got the Bills moving on, and I've got a Bills versus Commanders Super Bowl. Now, Nick looks at it like this. He thinks that he's not betting against the Chiefs. He thinks the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. He's going Chiefs here. He thinks the Chiefs are going to represent the AFC once again. But he also thinks that the Eagles are going to be playing against them in the NFC because they arguably are the best team in the NFC, with potentially the MVP on their team. The finalists and stuff have been announced, but no awards have been given. Beagle thinks the Bills get it done this year. So he does think that the Bills can dethrone the Chiefs. But then he also thinks that the Eagles can get it done. He thinks the Eagles can take care of the Commanders, and the Eagles will play the Bills in the Super Bowl. Now, who knows? Maybe I go 0-2. Maybe Beagle goes 0-2. Maybe Nick goes 1-1. We will just see. And then obviously we'll make a Super Bowl pick. I'll come up with that video as well. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is a shorter video, and as we get closer, they do become shorter just because there's not as many matchups to go over anymore, because you next week, it's the Pro Bowl next week and then the Super Bowl. So you will be down to your final 2 teams. Who is going to be the best in the NFL this year? Stay tuned. Stay locked in. Keep watching Sports All Around. And until then, see y'all later.